Good morning, everyone. And today I am going to read the chapter 24, Solid, Liquid, and Gas. We are surrounded by a number of things. These things have weight and occupy space. Any substance which has mass and occupies space is known as matter. The space occupied by an object is called its volume. Matter may be soft, hard, light, or heavy. Matter is made up of tiny particles known as atoms. These atoms are usually joined together in the groups known as molecules. Molecule is the smallest part of the substance that has all the characteristic of the subject. Matter can be exist in three physical states depending on how the molecules are packed or arranged. These states are solid, liquid, and gas. Solids are the substances that have a fixed size and a fixed shape. The molecules in the solids are packed very tightly and held together by a strong force, so they don't move very easily. Hence, solids keep the shape and size. The size of a solid does not change unless it is heated, cooled, broken, or cut. Solids have a fixed mass and volume. Liquids are the substances that do not have a fixed shape, but they have a fixed volume. They take the shape of the container which they are kept. They are not packed very tightly and thus can be moved around slightly. As a result, liquids can float. Gases are a form of matter with a loosely packed molecules. They do not have a fixed shape or a fixed volume. The molecule gases are spread out in open space freely and occupies the entire space available to them. Gases cannot be kept their shape unless gases cannot keep their shape unless kept in a sealed container. Most gases are colorless. Changing the state of matter, changing the state of matter. If the attraction between the molecules of a substance is strong, they are packed very tightly together to make a solid. The particles in a solid are in a fixed position, and it makes it difficult for a solid to change shape. When a solid such as ice is heated, the particles vibrate more and more until they break away from each other. They form a liquid. This process of a solid changing into a liquid is known as melting. The molecules in liquids can move around quietly, but cannot break away from each other completely. If we heat a liquid, molecules start to move around very quickly. Eventually, they move fast that they can escape the surface of the liquid and become a gas. This process is known as evaporation. As the liquid becomes hotter, the molecules escape even more quickly as the a liquid becomes to bubble. This is called boiling. On cooling, water vapor changes back to liquid. This process is known as a condensation. On cooling further, the liquid changes back to solid. This change is called freezing. A physical change and a chemical change. As we heat an ice cube, it changes into water. It is known as physical change because only the physical state of water is changing. Although the water in the ice cube changes appearance, it is easy to freeze the water back to ice again. In other words, the change is reversible. Water and its a liquid form can be heated to make steam. If the steam is cooled, it will turn back to liquid water. This is another reversible change. However, if we heat a piece of paper, a different kind of change takes place. The paper first turns brown and becomes brittle. Then it bursts into flames and gives out a lot of heat. It finally becomes ash. When the ash has cooled down, it does not change back to vapor. It has a completely new substances form. This type of change is called irreversible change. The change by a new substances form, the different from the original are known as the chemical change. Chemical changes are, irre- are, irre- are irreversible. Many of the changes that take place in nature are a chemical change. For example, when we cook food, the changes that take place are a chemical change because we cannot change a cake back to its raw ingredients. Solubility is the ability of a substance to dissolve in a liquid. In the process of dissolving the substance in which being dissolved in is called a solute, and a substance in which it is dissolved is called a solvent. For example, when we mix a sugar in water, sugar is the solute and water is the solvent. A mixture of a solute and a solvent is called a solution. Thank you.